Hi, everyone, and welcome to a brand new Pivot webinar. In this session, you will see how Pivot can help you plan and scope projects from idea to launch. Let's take a look at the agenda first. First section is called Project Management Apps, Problem and Solution, then setting up your project space, planning and execution tools, communication and documentation, tracking progress and closing projects, Q&A section, and finally some closing remarks. Why projects lose momentum? Here's the reality. Most projects fall apart not because teams lack skill, but because conversations happen in one place, tasks live somewhere else, docs are scattered, and calendars hide critical milestones. And every time you switch tools, that context bleeds away and makes everything more confusing and frustrating, and it slows down project for you, your project, and your entire team. Instead of splitting your focus, Pivot unites project planning, team discussions, tasks and timelines, data insights, and documented knowledge all in one environment so you can move forward without losing the thread. Creating your project space. Everything in Pivot starts with a space. A space is your team's project hub and the single source of truth for everything related to that initiative. Inside a space, you will keep docs and pages, task lists and milestones, databases, canvases, calendars, conversations, and analytics. Each space is private by default, and you decide who joins and what they're allowed to do. So we have different roles. Viewers, for example, have read only access, editors can contribute, and admins have full control over the space. And I want to give you a tip regarding spaces. You should create separate spaces for individual projects, major clients, internal initiatives, and specialized teams. Set clear objectives and milestones. Every project begins with a goal. In Pivot, you can use goal blocks to define your project's purpose, break big goals into milestones, assign owners for accountability, and set deadlines to keep progress steady. For example, you can create a goal called launch new project, and then each milestone will be called, for example, complete QA, finalize prototype, publish marketing site. And a characteristic about goal blocks is that they are interactive. So you have visual progress bars that show what's complete. You have comments that let teams discuss roadblocks or updates, and goals stay visible instead of buried in slides like it happens in any other project management app. Map tasks and assign ownership. So once goals are clear, it's time to get granular. You have databases in Pivot that let you build structured task lists, assign owners, and you can add custom fields like priority, status, cost estimates, and dependency. You can also group tasks by phases, departments, owners, and custom categories. And unlike traditional tools, you have entries that link back to the context, so goals, pages, and docs. Everything updates in real time, and you'll no longer have to make manual syncs between systems. For example, you can create an item within a database, and that is called track marketing campaign, and you can group the different tasks and show what's in progress, what's stuck, what's done, and what's pending review. Plan visually with canvases. Some projects are too complex for lists alone. That's where Pivot's infinite canvases shine. You can use them to mind map ideas, plan workflows, lay out timelines, sketch roadmaps, and collaborate in real time or async. On a canvas, you can add shapes, text, sticky notes, drop blocks directly onto the surface like tasks, goals, and images. You can comment directly on visual elements, group related items visually, and you can keep brainstorming tied to the project instead of an external whiteboards. And I want to give you a tip for canvases. You have templates within Pivot, so you can use them for sprint planning, stakeholder mapping, and creative ideation. And you can adjust these templates as your project evolves. Keep timelines and deadlines visible. Pivot's calendar blocks keep your timeline visible. You can use them to schedule key deadlines, plan team meetings, track milestones, group events into categories. Each calendar event links back to tasks, docs, and canvases or databases. So everything is connected. And if timeline shifts, you can drag and drop updates events without losing the context. Keep every conversation connected. Projects thrive or slow down by communication. Pivot offers multiple ways to keep teams connected. Have chat rooms for fast discussions and quick check ins, audio video rooms for live sessions for brainstorming or stand ups, streaming rooms for broadcasts for lunches or company wide updates, and post rooms for structured async conversations that stay visible. Unlike Slack or email, every conversation belongs to the project space and you will no longer have to chase context across apps. Document as you work. So Pivot's pages become living documents for project scopes, meeting notes, strategic plans, and team handbooks. Each page updates in real time, includes built in comments, tracks version history, and links back directly to tasks and goals. Track progress with analytics. The best project plan means nothing if you can't see how it's going. Pivot's analytic blocks let you track task completion rates, monitor progress on goals, identify bottlenecks, visualize activity inside pages, spaces, and rooms, and spot top contributors. These dashboards help you see trends over time, compare team performance, and fix issues before they snowball. Close projects and capture learnings. So, Pivot doesn't just help you build projects, it helps you finish them. At the end of a project, you can close goals in the database, write retrospective in pages, keep conversation in post rooms, and track lessons learned for the next time. This creates institutional knowledge, faster onboarding for new projects, and a clear narrative of how work happened and how it can happen again. Okay, we have the Q&A section. First question, can I manage multiple projects at once in Pivot? Yes, you can create separate spaces for each project or run several projects inside one space by using pages, databases, and blocks to keep things organized. Can I run meetings directly inside Pivot while working on a project? Yes, you can launch video or audio rooms inside your project space and keep all notes and follow up connected to the project. Next question, is Pivot suitable for small teams or only large organizations? Pivot scales for both. Solo creators and small startups love the simplicity, and then we have organizations or larger enterprises that value the control and depth that Pivot offers. Okay, so that's Pivot for projects. If you're tired of fragmented systems, Pivot lets you plan smarter, collaborate faster, and keep every task, conversation, and insight under one roof. You can check out the links below to learn how you can start your next project in Pivot. And thank you for watching. See you next time.